Hi, this is Devin Sawyer. I'm a supplemental instructor working with Professor Burt Miller to create a series of videos to teach 3D animation in Cinema 4D. Start by hiding your main assets or your asset zoo in the Objects menu and delete any additional unused objects. Enter Line Mode at the top of your screen. Select the bottom left edge of your floor, then use the Move tool to extend it. This will be the floor of our hallway that showcases our modeled windows. Create a cylinder object and increase the rotation segments to 53. Rotate it 90 degrees. Be sure to enable snapping by clicking the magnet icon, then select the gear icon next to it and turn on Point, Edge, and Midpoint. This will make it easier to align objects moving forward. Move the cylinder to the midpoint of the floor and increase the size. The edges should align with the edges of the floor as shown here. Press C to make the cylinder editable, and while in polygon mode, select the top face of the cylinder. Select the Extrude tool on the left of your screen. Then, extrude the cylinder until it reaches the edge of the main hallway entrance. Release the cursor, then extrude again until it reaches the right edge of the hallway. Your cylinder should now be perpendicular to it. Delete all segments that block the view of the entrance. Delete all segments that go beyond the edge of your floor. Enter Edge mode, then press U, then L to use the Loop Selection tool. Select the outermost edge of the cylinder, then use the Extrude tool to extrude it inwards. Press K, then L, then use the Loop Cut tool to add an additional ring to the extruded faces. Now you can enter Polygon mode, then use the Loop Selection tool again to select the inner faces. Use the Extrude tool to slightly extrude them outwards. Feel free to adjust the rotation of the cylinder to better align it with the flooring. You can use the wireframe as a guide. Select 11 planes on each side of your walls, extrude them slightly inward, and using the Inset tool by pressing I, inset them slightly inward. Now you can extrude the faces outwards, past the original edge of the wall. We've now created both the frames of our windows and the plane of the windows themselves. With the windows still selected, click Select at the top of your screen, then Store Selection. You should see a triangle in the Objects menu. In the Asset browser, search for a glass material. Once you find one, you can place it next to the triangle.
This is 7.
With the material selected, drag and drop the triangle into the selection box in the Attributes menu. This adds the material onto the selected windows. Now you can extend the floor a bit further than the edge of the hallway. Create a capsule object. Place it in the center of the extended floor and rotate it 90 degrees. Increase the rotation segments to 52, then increase the size and adjust the position until it matches the hallway cylinder. Press C to make it editable. Inside the hallway, select and delete the top faces of the capsule. In Edge mode, select the edge of the floor. Press K, then L to use the Loop Cut tool, then click the center of the edge. In the Attributes menu, adjust the offset to 50% and the number of cuts to 6. Select the outer edge segments, then move them forwards until the outermost points reach the walls of the capsule. Deselect the outer edges and continue moving the inner edges forward. Repeat until the floor creates a perfect seam at the walls. Add glass material to the capsule. I added a blue material to the hallway here. Feel free to explore your own ways of adding stylization to your project. Create a disk object and rotate it 90 degrees. Increase the rotation segments to 53. Adjust the scale and position until it creates a perfect seal at the end of your hallway. Now we'll add an HDRI to the scene. Sites like Polyhaven and HDRI Haven have hundreds of free HDRI assets to choose from. Just be sure to download it to a folder you'll remember later. Create a sky object, then create a new material. Double-click the material to enter the material editor. Be sure all parameters are turned off except for luminance. Inside the luminance menu, click the folder icon and select the HDRI file you downloaded online. You'll notice that we haven't created a ceiling for our main hallway, and the HDRI may be visible inside it. We'll fix this by creating a cube object and resizing it to cover the main hallway. We'll make a new material and be sure to turn off all parameters. Once that's on the cube, the ceiling should now be as dark as before. Create a camera and make sure the square next to it is selected. Position it where you want your shot to begin. At the bottom of your screen, you can click the diamond icon to create a keyframe. This saves the position within the timeline for your animation. Move the timeline to about frame 60. Then with the camera still selected, zoom the camera out or move it elsewhere. Pressing play from frame 0 will give you an idea of your camera movements. To increase the time of your shot, you can edit the number of frames in your project at the bottom right of your timeline. Continue repositioning the camera throughout your scene to showcase your modeled hallway and windows. Once you're done animating, you can edit the render settings by manually selecting the frame range. Create a folder for your images to be saved to. Finally, you can render your animation as an MP4. Good luck!